I don't care.
Do you guys see that?
Change shit, then we'll never be able to change shit back.
Okay.
You see that? All good? Did you fix it? Is it on easy mode now?
Nothing to fix.
If we get you the Guitar Hero controller, will that be easier for you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Alright,
We good?
we're good.
Give me a Wii Fit for it.
Sure. Hey everybody, today is Wednesday, the 19th of February, 2014. This is A Gap, episode 211. My name is Luke. Laurie, with me is Heath Dixon,
What's up?
Joe Gilroy,
Hi.
and Mr. Jeremy Junglist Ray.
Oh, hello.
Once again this week, we are back on the live stream at twitch.tv/GA podcast, where we are playing our game of the week, which Joe chose. NBA 2K14, I think, yes?
Yes.
On the Xbox One.
Yes.
So the next gen, current gen version.
Yes.
We're calling it current gen, right?
We're going with current.
Current gen, old gen is old gen.
Old gen, last gen.
Yeah. This week's format in terms of the tournament, we don't know yet. We're probably just going to do like a round robin type thing.
Yep.
And then just wing it.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Same as last week.
Same as last week. Do we have the red
So
cards?
once again, this is still experimental.
Yes.
Very much so.
Leave us some feedback on the chat or the Facebooks or whatever, because we're still playing around with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're waiting for the 3D cameras to show up, because we're going to go out in 3D
Yeah.
pretty soon.
We'll be out in 3D and 4K.
9.1
really soon.
surround.
Yep. 9.1.
Yeah, well, you can't do 7.
I know.
Well, what is it, 9.3? What are they up to now?
Yeah. Well, gotta have a lot of subs.
Gotta feel that drum bass.
Before we continue with the tournament, I whipped a little something up.
Yep.
The scoreboard, as it currently stands. Ladies and gentlemen, the score so far.
Okay.
Your reigning champion is Joby Gilroy, and he is sitting on 8 points. The championship belt and the position on the table, they're not always the same thing. It can be interchangeable, just due to the nature of the
The card system.
just boisterousness
The commissioner.
of playing video games. In second place, rather in first place is Junglist
Yay!
on 10 points.
Yay!
Tied for second is Heath,
Yay!
and our current spoon is Luke.
I like.
How's Heath tied for second?
Early
Oh,
start.
wait, yeah, tied for
Yeah.
second, yeah.
Yeah.
Current spoon is Luke on 6 points. Anyway, back to the.
I like that. Did you do that in what, paint? Or
Yes, I did.
Shall we start this?
Yes, so
Yeah,
let's
you start the
Could,
game.
could they see that?
Yes, they could.
Okay. Good job.
I'm all over this shit. Look at me go.
Kicking off first is Heath and Jung. Heath is playing as
Ready,
the
Jung?
New York
Ready?
Knicks, and Jung is playing as the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And off they go.
This is gonna be. This is definitely gonna be. Not Jung's week, I think.
No, like last week was not my week for FIFA, but
Yeah.
to be fair, I didn't lose that badly.
But
I
you
didn't
had
get
played
destroyed.
FIFA before.
Yes.
Not in a
Oh,
while.
don't step back. Don't go into
Oh.
the backcourt, dude.
Anyway, let's.
Anyway.
Have you got a rant or anything to go on this week?
Look, I do have a rant, and it's about something that happened quite recently. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this deep down controversy that rose its head.
Only because you said something on Twitter.
Thanks, John. In the last couple of days, but there was like a sort of a revelation that deep down is Capcom's new free-to-play next-gen game that's supposed to take a lot of cues from the Dark Souls and Demon Souls. It's supposed
What
to.
the sorry. My guy was going up into the crowd.
I
Sorry.
really do feel like that is a kind of
No.
offense.
Come on.
Yeah, it takes a lot of cues from the Souls games, and it's supposed to be quite, complex, challenging, all the adjectives people assign to Souls games.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say exactly how it's going to be inspired by Souls games, because Souls games mean so many different things to so many different people that I just don't know. Like, maybe they just mean it's going to be hard and they've completely misread what the Souls games are about.
Or they just think, oh, let's make a fantasy game
Yeah,
with dragons and stuff.
yeah,
And a dude with big armor.
yeah.
That'll work.
But it's Japanese, so
Yeah.
sorry. Anyway, so it was revealed that you were able to customize your own character, and you're able to make them however high, tall, or fat, or blonde, or whatever, beardy you want. But it was revealed that you're not allowed to make them female, and the reason that they gave was that it doesn't make sense for the story of the game. And Brenna Hillier, a journalist from Australia, and a cool chick, she rejected. Oh my god, I didn't silence my
Yeah,
phone
no,
after
my-
all the shit I gave you.
Oh,
Mine's
red
been
card.
buzzing in my pocket.
Oh my god. She was outraged. She was outraged at the concept that you couldn't be a girl because of story reasons, and I wasn't gonna jump in. I didn't think. I don't think there is anything else that really needs to be said about it. I mean, to be honest, it is kind of ridiculous. Like, you should be able to be a woman in this game. Like, the armors should be the fucking same. John and I were talking about this earlier. Like, it's not like, the traditional sort of booby breastplates that you see.
Yeah.
That shit's ridiculous. Like,
It's
they
aiming
never
for
do it.
quasi-realism in its armor. But
Yeah.
it's like it's heavy armor, so you could actually just say like whoever's in there.
Yeah, like it'd just be a thick piece of steel or iron or whatever era you're currently up to with your blacksmithing technology.
Yep.
When
Right.
it comes to the question of different of customization and getting like actually making different faces and stuff, because this is specific to this game where you're going to be spending all this time in this heavy armor. But in a different game where like customizable faces is a thing, then it does become a question of sacrificing quality for diversity, and that's where I'm not quite convinced.
So
What
I'm saying, just to be clear, I think that in the case of Deep Down, they should absolutely have women as playable characters, because there's no possible story reason that makes any fucking sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
The only possible story reason that would make any sense would be if you literally used your dick to save the world, in which case,
I would like to play that game.
it would be pretty good.
Yeah. Is there like a reason behind, like they said that it's story related? Is it because all the women don't exist anymore and there aren't women, that's why you can't be one? Or is there
Yeah,
like a...
look,
that's
maybe that's the storyline where all the women in the world have gone away. But
So they didn't say why?
no, there's
So
nothing
they're trying-
known about the story. But
Alright.
it doesn't matter, because there's basically no reason. Like, even if it is your story where that's the only thing that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
just rewrite the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's as pivotal as the main thing is like all the women are dead and you're off to like do an adventure.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
or-
know.
Yeah,
you know,
shit, we can't go
all
back.
magic is derived from semen. You cannot cast magic if you do not actually produce semen, because semen is magic.
So before every fight, you have to have a wank.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to like just fucking whack one out.
George Lucas had a
You know what? In Dark Souls, there's a thing you put on your weapon called aromatic ooze that does give it magic power.
I'm just looking in the chat room, and Overindulgence has said, sorry, but in terms of story, should there then be an option to make the protagonist in Deus Ex Human Revolution female? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. In games where they're telling the story from one particular point of view, then they're free to tell the story from that particular point of view. I'm not saying that, there should be Lars and Lara, or Nathan and Natalie, or like Drake, or anything like that. I'm saying that when you can make your own character and give him a name and customize his looks and all that kind of shit, then not allowing. Oh my god, you are so fucking close to backcourt violation. It is ridiculous.
And then he just gets up.
I like to
fucking
live dangerously.
downtown 3. Yeah, like in that case, like if there is 4 customization options, this is just it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just accommodate them. Good God.
Well, I mean that's fair enough. But you're talking kind of like the two ends of the spectrum, where it's like ones where it's very easy to accommodate, and ones where the story is a specific named male. But if you're in the middle ground, where it's like you can have, you know, different kinds of armor, different kinds of characters, RPG, all that sort of stuff, that's where I'm not quite convinced, because it acknowledges briefly in the article, like the Brink developer says that, you know, it costs more money, but then she kind of says, rather obnoxiously, you know, well, it's so easy to just do it, like just stick women in there, and you know, somehow you can just do a poor job with the female assets and like art assets, and that would be okay. Well, that's not okay, because you're going to be held to a certain standard, and it's not just, you know, it's the facial stuff, it's the animations, it's the gear, all that sort of stuff. So I mean, I think if you're going to ask for that, then I believe the argument is that, you know, if games were to cater to girls and women more, then more women would play it, and then they would financially justify it. I'm not so certain about that. I think, I mean, that then gets into an argument of, like, that's then saying, like, if we sort of transport ourselves to a universe where, you know, there's no patriarchy, not saying that I buy into the whole patriarchy thing, but if we say for a second that, you know, we've gone forward 50 years, there is none, all video games have equal male and female representation, then you're saying that women will buy just as many of that game. And that then, like, if you're going to say that, then what we're saying is that there's no difference between male and female tastes in games.
Right.
So that I don't buy.
Look, there are definitely elements of the argument that are easily rejected. But the overarching, like, arcing thing of... My main problem was people saying that, you know, that if it's justified in the story, then leave it. Like, changing the story shouldn't be... Like, if you've gotten to a point where you've made the story male only and it isn't some hilarious genitally based situation, then you've already fucked up and you should just change it. Like,
Yeah.
there's,
But I mean, there's all the stuff that goes along with that. There's the art. And
well, of
stuff like
course,
that. So even if you're like,
but it should never have gotten that far. That's the main problem. Is that it should never have gotten that far. Like, just don't make a game that excludes them.
but then if you're saying that, like, if you're going to have male and female in RPG, and then you then have to create all the different faces, all the different gear, all the different animations.
But
all
there
that sort of
doesn't
stuff.
have to be different gear. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if we're talking in a heavy armor scenario like Deep Down, then yeah, the armor should be the same, like we were saying before. Like, you know, that
Yeah.
you shouldn't have armor that's going to, you know, accentuate breasts or anything like that, because, like we were saying, you know, armor should be directing sword blows away from the breast, not, you know, the female armor that's in a lot of MMOs and stuff would actually direct sword blows to the middle of the chest, which is the exact opposite of what you want. But this is a special case of heavy armor, whereas in a lot of games, you know, there's a lot of assets where it would have to be different, you know, animations, gear.
I don't look. That's fine, but what I'm saying is they should account for it from the get-go. Like, I don't need 24